Alex, good to see you. It's fight week. How you feeling?
Good. Yeah, happy to be back in the fold. Ready to fight.
Again, how was your preparation? Anything particularly different for this particular camp? I mean, you always want to build off last performances and stuff, but anything different that you kind of whipped up in fight camp for us for this week?
Just really able to tie the knots on everything I was working on at the top of the year. Yeah, just lock in some things. I feel like I'm grades above where I was when I fought Ferreira, and I'm just excited to show out, put on a good performance.
And you get Rafa as an opponent. Where's he dangerous, and what sort of stuff are you expecting from him out there?
Yeah, he's a tough brute. You know, he's a stout, sturdy fighter, and he's going to press forward. I like that matchup. I like the stylistic challenge of it, and I expect him to be strong and durable.
Going back to when you said you learned some things from that Diego fight, or you shored up some things, what particular things did you see in that fight that you thought that you had to kind of shore up?
Really referring more to the camp before, but or before this fight, after the Ferreira. But with Ferreira, I had just from disc issues, I had a compromised left arm.
Yeah.
And so I was really frustrated with the performance. I felt like I was having to lean too much on my right arm and just move too. I mean, the movement was nice, but it was just excessive. I want to find a good blend of putting pressure on them and attacking and being a solid counter striker. And so I'm just excited to kind of implement that.
Yeah. And how's the body feeling coming into this one? 100%?
Yeah, let it be known. Let it be known to everyone. No rumor milling. I feel solid. Yeah, so I'm really fortunate to be healthy this camp, and excited to excited to perform. I really just want to put on a sick display. That's like really where my head's at, is just doing something artistic that I'm impressed by.
Has it always been the desire to do something artistic, or I feel like at some point there was wanted to do something brutal, something violent, but is the artistic?
Just winning, and certainly winning's on top of my mind, but man, I really want to display some craftsmanship out there and be proud of my performance more than anything. Because win or lose, sometimes I can still be beating myself up afterwards, and so I really want to exemplify something, show something out of myself.
So does that just show, is that more growth in yourself, or just what you're hoping to get out of these things, that mindset?
Yeah, it's just where I'm at in the game, you know. If you're going to do it well, you know, do it to the fullest. A bunch of ways to make money in the world, but, you know, fighting's more than just the outcome, you know, it's the display of work. You know, it's how you get that outcome, and so that's really what I'm focusing at too. Yeah.
And obviously you want to get something nice, something artistic, and out of that. But what does a win here do for you within the division, you think?
Yeah, it'd be great. You know, obviously push the streak, and then I think I'd be in contention, top 15, and then a main event. You know, I think after this fight, I'd call for a main event slot.
I'm gonna say, looking at streak, I think this is almost the longest streak that you've had in your career. Does that give you a little extra oomph that you've been doing things right? You know.
Yeah, no, it's exciting. It's cool. Another big thing I try to focus on is just detaching from any of that outcomes, expectations, streaks, results, just in any of that, to not bind myself to it.
Yep.
Because then you can find yourself start competing to not lose versus to win and again really exemplify yourself. So it's dope. I mean, I'm proud of it. I like it. I'd like to keep it going, but I'm trying to remain detached from the idea of it.
And I'm sure Saturday you played the fight out in your head multiple ways, but what are your keys to the victory? What needs to happen to make sure that you get your arm raised on Saturday?
Yeah, I think he's a strong boxer wrestler. I think I'm a sharper boxer wrestler. I think I'll beat his feet. I think I'll find openings, and I think I'll exploit them. You know, and he can blend pretty well in MMA, and I expect to do the same. Yeah.
Best of luck on Saturday.
Thank you.
Speaking of just like detaching and stuff, just hitting on the controversy surrounding the last fight cancellation, how was it dealing with all of that outside noise and just being able to focus on getting back into camp and preparing for the next opponent and kind of tuning that stuff out?
Yeah, I mean, that was a headache and a half, dude. That was a stressful 5 weeks. And it's good to just be on the right side of it now, and, you know, pray no fuckery takes place this week. Obviously a little bit of tension in the air over that in the back of my mind, but yeah, no, I'm happy to be back. We're making jokes. I feel I've felt the oppression of people of the past here. You know, I feel like Boombaye, Alex Ali, or Mandela this week coming back from false accusations and getting a chance to rise again. And so I'm just stoked. I'm stoked to be back in, do what I'm most decent at.
I'm sure you probably can't speak about it, but there obviously was an investigation. Is that over? Are you still talking to authorities, or can you not comment on it at all?
Yeah, I'm not talking to the authorities. I'm sure there's. I don't think the FBI comes out and issues any apologies, so it's hard for me to really speculate on where anything's at. But again, I'm in the grace of the UFC, and we're fighting, and so yeah, there's. I have no fears or qualms with any bureau.
And then just one last one. As a veteran of the sport, obviously sports betting has infiltrated all the major sports leagues, including the UFC. Do you think that it's too much of a distraction sometimes? Because obviously there's been other incidences recently with the Isaac Dulgarian fight. Do you think that sports betting has kind of put a damper on the fight sometimes, or like the behind-the-scenes stuff that goes on?
Yeah, well, I say this is uncharted territory because it's the first time someone's been falsely accused of fixing a fight or doing anything like that. And so it's new waters for everyone to figure out how to tread. And I think there needs to be some kind of a protection over the combatant themselves. You know, who's looking out for me in that case, or whoever it happens to next. Because, yeah, you've got, you know, uninformed prop bet profiles, unregulated bookies, and an uneducated bureau pressing on you, and no one's protecting the individual and looking out for him. And everyone's covering their own ass, then you're hoping to not get fucked in yours. So, yeah, it's a bit of a, again, just uncertain territory for sure. And needs to be someone looking out for the fighter.
Good luck on Saturday.
Thanks.
Yes, thank you.
¿Dónde vas?
Arriba.
Claro que te tomo una foto. No te preocupes.
Espérate que voy a tomar una foto. Me pidió por favor, para tomar fotos de ella y acá con el pincito.
Eso.
Esto. Le saco otra de acá. Listo. Ahora será mi trabajo.
Go Birds.
¿Qué tal, Joselyne? Qué gusto verte nuevamente. Bueno, preguntarte, tu carrera en UFC ha sido un proceso de crecimiento, de resiliencia también, que hemos visto forjándote en cada pelea. ¿Qué es lo que vamos a ver diferente de Joselyne para este sábado, enfrentándote a una rival del calibre de Dumont?
Your career in the UFC is about being about evolution, development. You have been forged by the fights that you've had and the moment that you've had in the organization. Now, what are we going to see different in a fight against Norma, which is obviously somebody of a different caliber?
Bueno, lo que
Cerca.
¿qué puede encontrar diferente en mí para esta pelea? Mira, yo voy a salir a matar, a destruir como lo estoy haciendo en mis últimas peleas. Como siempre digo, no me importa qué tipo de calibre tenga la peleadora, yo voy a salir a destruir y a ganar mi pelea, porque simplemente es mi instinto, soy una peleadora agresiva, tengo hambre de victoria. Soy una peleadora muy confiante en mí y en mi trabajo. Estoy fluyendo mucho con todo el trabajo que he tenido anteriormente. Se está viendo, está saliendo en este año, los años que han pasado, todo este año pasado que he tenido, que he entrenado tanto y he dicho, no está saliendo el trabajo, ¿por qué no? Pero mira, Dios no atrasa la oportunidad de nadie. Es mi momento, yo siento que estoy fluyendo bien. Solamente sé inteligente en mi pelea y esa victoria es mía porque sé que tengo todas las áreas para ganar.
I know the challenge is up there, but I've seen the evolution of my fights. I've seen the results that we've had, and I'm very happy that the result is coming. Because for such a long time, I was like, "Why am I putting in so much work and the results not coming?" And I'm not, reaping what I sold for that long. But I see that this is, listen, God is never late. Time is always there. His timing is always right. And I feel that I just have to be very intelligent, very smart with this fight. But it's my moment, and I'm going to come out with a win.
Perfecto. Bueno, tu striking siempre ha sido también tu sello cuando te hemos visto peleando. Ahora enfrentas a esta peleadora que es bastante física, también bastante controladora. ¿Cómo tú crees que podría cambiar en algo esta pelea o cuál sería tu fortaleza frente a alguien que controla así el octágono?
You've been very physical, very dominant, and controlled your fights, and now you're facing somebody who's also, physical, likes to control fights and dominate. What do you change to face a fighter that has that dominance like yours?
Pienso que, mira, no va a cambiar nada. Norma es una peleadora, como tú dices, controladora, controla mucho la pelea como ella la quiere. Si ella quiere ganar por decisión, es una peleadora por punto, puntúa mucho y es muy inteligente. Yo siempre recargo eso porque la inteligencia en una pelea es clave también. Pero si tú has visto las peleas de Norma pasadas, ¿qué peleadora como yo explosiva le ha tocado a Norma? Siempre se pone muy pasiva y entra en el ritmo de ella. Entonces, vamos a ver quién es quién el fin de semana. Esa pelea es muy emocionante para mí. No tengo miedo de nada. Yo entreno en String Couture con la mayoría que entrena ahí, está en UFC, hay estilo de todas las clases, hasta los estilos que tú menos te imaginas está en String Couture. So, no tengo problema con ningún estilo. Yo siempre digo, yo me adapto al estilo de mi oponente y me adapto, no es que me voy a quedar ahí al ritmo que ella quiere, yo me adapto en sentido, si tú quieres hacer una taekwondo conmigo, yo puedo pararme como taekwondo, karate, lo que tú quieras, te lo voy a dar ese día.
I think she's dominant, but if you've seen the fights, she basically likes to, score a lot during the fights, and it's about that volume out there. But if you see the aggressiveness that I bring to the table, if you see the fighter that I am, if you see what I am as a fighter, complete. Have you seen anything like that in any of Norma's previous opponents? I don't think you've seen that aggressiveness in a fighter like me. And the people that I have, the material that I have to work with at Extreme Coach, where I have everything. I have fighters of every weight class, I have fighters of every style, and that makes me prepared to fight anything I want. If you want to do Taekwondo, I'll do Taekwondo. If you're going to do karate, we'll do karate. I'm ready for all kinds of styles, and that's always with an aggressiveness, always trying to finish fights.
Y la última de mi parte, Joselyne, el día sábado de salir con el brazo en alto, ¿qué seguiría para ti? Porque podrías ya ingresar al top 5 de las 135 libras. ¿Qué mensaje das a la división? ¿Qué es lo que quieres para ti después de esto?
And my last question, if you think about it, you're finally the number 3 in the rankings, and you win a fight like this, you're going to be, on Saturday, you're going to be at the top of the division. What message are you want to send with your performance on Saturday?
Ganando el sábado, obteniendo mi victoria, quiero pelear con la campeona, obviamente. Yo no le huyo a nada. Yo quiero el cinturón, teniendo esta oportunidad, ganando, imagínate. ¿Qué voy a pedir a Juliana, a Raquel? Pues si no me dan a la campeona, que me den a la que viene, ¿no? Pero probablemente, ojalá que ganando mi pelea, Kayla diga que sí, y sería una buena oportunidad.
Getting ready for the title, so winning a fight on Saturday, I just feel that I would be able to vie for the title. It's just you get ready, you're in that position, get ready for a camp to actually fight for that belt. I want to call out on it. I hope they say yes, and I think it'll be a great opportunity by winning on Saturday.
Hola Joselyne, ¿cuál sería para ti este sábado el escenario perfecto para concluir esta pelea?
What would it be the perfect way for you to go about Saturday? What would happen to be the ideal scenario for you on Saturday?
La verdad sería un tremendo knockout, porque quiero los $100,000, ahora que está los 100,000, todos buscamos eso, ¿no? Pero estoy preparada para todo. Estoy preparada hasta para la decisión, pero no me gustaría que llegue a decisión. Quiero knockout, sumisión, que paren la pelea, knockout técnico, pero no decisión. Si se da decisión es porque Dios lo quiso así. Porque no estoy peleando tampoco con una chica que va ahí con los brazos amarrados, ¿sabes? Esa chica es buena, pero yo soy mejor.
A tremendous knockout, a powerful knockout. That would be the best way to go about it. And if it goes through a hard-fought battle and it goes to decision, so be it. If that's God willing, that could be it. I mean, of course, I'm also not going to be, fighting a girl that's going to have her arms tied. I mean, we're talking about a girl that's very strong. But that would be the best way to go about it, and having a knockout on Saturday.
Desde Panamá para el mundo, una latina muy fuerte que ha llegado muy lejos. ¿Qué es lo que podría decirle no solamente a la gente de su país, Panamá, sino a todos los latinos que están en el camino?
From Panama to the world, a girl that has gone very, very far places and up there in life. What is the message that you would send, not just to those in Panama, but everybody in Latin America about your accomplishments?
Claro, mira, lo que diría para mi país, para Latinoamérica y para el mundo entero, que nunca desistan. Y no se trata de solamente seguir la frase de no te rindas, nunca desistas, es trabajar duro, salir a buscar el trabajo. Porque muchas personas dicen, no, es que no desista, algún día va a llegar, pero mira, yo tuve que salir de Panamá para estar aquí. Sigo siendo la única panameña desde 2021 que debuté en UFC. No hay ninguna persona más porque no hay muchas mujeres, los chicos no quieren salir, tienen miedo. Yo salí con miedo, salí con nada en el bolsillo a buscar mis sueños y soy una persona muy disciplinada y eso es lo que ha hecho que yo esté aquí, esté demostrando al mundo de que sí se puede, pero tú tienes que salir a buscarlo. Así que no se desistan, trabajen duro, todo se puede cumplir, pero trabajando duro, no es que te va a llegar ahí acostado a la cama.
As I've said before, I think it comes down to the sentence of saying, never surrender, never give up on anything, and just continue to work hard. I think it's important for people to understand it's not just about that, but the working hard part. Because yes, things will come to you, but you have to go to them, and you have to work towards them. I had to leave Panama to actually have a better life for myself, and a lot of girls, a lot of guys don't want to risk it. They don't want to lose what they have. They don't want to try something new. They're afraid of it. So you cannot just wait for things to happen. It's not that, okay, yes, you have not surrendered. Yes, you're still at it, but you have to work towards it as well. You have to get closer by working hard. And that's what I would say to people.
Y por último, para mí, Joselyne, hasta este momento en tu carrera, ¿qué representa la UFC para ti?
And my last question, Joselyne, in this moment, up to this moment in your career, what does the UFC mean to you?
Bueno, yo pienso que para mí, para mi carrera, para mi vida, UFC es mi vida. Es todo lo que hago ahorita mismo, aparte sabes, cuando ya tú entras a este mundo, tú quieres montar negocios, solamente no quieres vivir de pelea, pero UFC es mi vida, es mi día a día, y yo vivo este deporte, está conmigo dentro de mí, ¿sabes? Pero sí, UFC es mi vida porque yo amo lo que hago realmente. Realmente si yo estoy sin pelear, sí me puedo poner triste, pero tú nunca me vas a ver triste porque siempre estoy entrenando, siempre tengo pelea, tengo un trabajo. Por eso no le dije que no a esta pelea, porque decirle que no es decirle que no al trabajo. Entonces, no sé por qué los peleadores dicen que no a la pelea, para qué se meten a pelear, ¿no?
This is my life. This is what I love to do. I feel happy when I'm doing this. It's my day-to-day. It's what I like to do the most. I'm very fortunate to actually be able to do this. The UFC, as I like to say, it is my life. It's I could be sad, and I do get sad once in a while, but not when I'm training and I'm getting ready for fights. You can't beat this. It's just as I've said to people before, like it's work, but it's fighting is what we love to do. I mean, I don't know why some fighters don't enjoy this. As living the fights and putting the work together to put on a fight is a great thing in your life. And I love doing this. This is my life, and I love doing what I'm doing. So the UFC is my life.
Joselyne. ¿Qué tal por acá? Bueno, vas a enfrentar a la número 3. Ha habido todas las chicas que están ahora dentro del ranking de las 135 libras han pedido este nombre, pero a ti se te ha dado la oportunidad. ¿Cuál es el plus que hizo que tú te lleves la oportunidad de enfrentar a la número 3 en las 135?
You're about to face the number 3 in the rankings at 135. So what do you think that, gave you what is the plus? What is the bonus? What you bring to the table that allowed you to actually fight fight the number 3 in the rankings for such a top position?
Pienso que fue definitivamente las finalizaciones que he tenido y cómo lo he hecho, porque no se trata solamente de ganar las peleas. Tú puedes ganar 5 peleas consecutivas súper aburridas por decisión, porque tienes miedo a arriesgarte. Y la mayoría de peleadoras, aunque no lo vean así para ellas, esto es un juego. Hay algunas que se montan, sí, muevo la nalga un rato, bailo, pero esto no es relajo, esto no es broma. Esto no es, sí, ganas tu pelea, la ganaste súper aburrida, cuando dijiste que ibas a matar, cuando dijiste que ibas a hacer. Yo entro aquí, yo digo que te voy a destruir y te voy a destruir. Mi pelea pasada, una de las cosas que yo no estoy dejando las peleas por decisión, es porque mi primera pelea con Nora, esa pelea de aquí a China la gané, no sé qué vieron los referees porque fueron en Francia, pero cuando yo bajé, yo solamente dije, felicidades, no hay que llorar, voy a seguir trabajando. Pero cuando nos volvamos a enfrentar, porque sé que nos volveremos a enfrentar, te voy a destruir, o sea, te voy a aplastar. Y yo entré a aplastarla. No entré tampoco te voy a lesionar para que no pelees en mucho tiempo, porque cuando tú haces algo con mal, se te devuelve con mal. Yo entré simplemente a destruir. Si tú eres peleadora y tú estás en este deporte, tú sabes que el riesgo es grande. Y yo estoy entrando a demostrar, a tener peleas súper agresivas, a tener peleas sangrientas, porque eso es lo que te hace que te den este tipo de oportunidades.
I'm a fighter that comes in not to play around, not to run around, and I know some people come in here, just they run around, they score some points out there, they do some things, they fight from time to time. I didn't come in to do that. I come in to finish fights. And if you see my last fights, that's what happens. And it's the attitude that I have towards things. If you think about, my last fight, when we had a fight, I know it was, you go back, see the fight in France, I said, I didn't put my head down or anything, but I just basically got into work. I said, listen, next time we fight each other, I'm going to basically destroy you. And that's what I did. I came back and got into that fight, not thinking about just, scoring points, coming in by decision. I come in as a fighter that wants to finish fights. I come in to destroy. This is not a joke. We're not here to play around, and that's how I feel that my style is, and that's what qualified me to do this.
Y Joselyne, tú mencionas algo importante, que eres la representante de Panamá, eres la embajadora en este deporte de Panamá en estos años, y precisamente tu nombre está en conversaciones en la prensa panameña. ¿Cómo tomas tú esta responsabilidad y también el hecho de que pues seas representante no solo de Panamá, sino de toda Latinoamérica? ¿Lo tomas como algo que te motiva o de alguna u otra forma hay presión por ahí?
You mentioned the fact that you're the only representative from Panama, not just the only female representative, but the only fighter that represents Panama. And your name is in the media in Panama, and you're known there. So how is it, and how important it is to be somebody that's recognized in Panama, and that people understand who it is, and what you do is being recognized?
No, la verdad no lo siento como presión, lo siento como un trabajo súper divertido. Yo me divierto haciendo esto. No, yo desde pre-kinder del colegio peleaba todos los días para defenderme, vivía en lugares peligrosos donde tenía que pelear para ganarme mi respeto, en el sentido de que no te falten el respeto, que venían las chicas y te pegaban en la cabeza, y el bullying, la palabra bullying que hiciste ahora no existía antes, tenías que defenderte. Entonces esto para mí no es presión, esto es hacer mi trabajo, pelear por lo que me gusta, por lo que me apasiona, por mí, siempre digo por mí primero, por mi familia y por mi país. Entonces cuando yo lo hago en ese orden, yo lo disfruto y no lo siento como presión.
I don't feel that as a responsibility, because I feel that would be a pressure. I don't feel any pressure about it, because I enjoy this truly. I enjoy it a lot, because I'm doing what I love that I used to do ever since I was a kid in kindergarten. I had to defend myself. Back in the day, the stronger girls were just basically, they beat you up, and what is called bullying today, back in the day, was just that you go defend yourself and you stand up for yourself and for what's right. So I've done it throughout my entire life, and I've always said to people, like, I do this for myself, I do this for my family, and do this for my country. When I put that in that order, there's no responsibility or pressure.
Joselyne, como dijo hace poco Jackie, posiblemente estás al top 5, 5 años después, adentro del top 5. ¿Cómo fue la reacción cuando tu manager, tu gerente o quien sea te dijo, aquí está el contrato, Norma Dumont? ¿Cómo fue la energía cuando viste ese nombre para este Fight Night?
For a while you mentioned you wanted to be in the top 5, and now you get a chance. So how was the reaction when you got a call from a manager or from whoever it was that said, listen, here's Norma Dumont, that's your next opponent?
No, la verdad me alegré mucho. Dijo, ¿quieres pelear con Norma? Eso fue lo que él me escribió, así, directo. Ya supe que algo había pasado con la oponente de ella. Cuando mi manager me mandó mensaje, ya supe que algo había pasado con la oponente de ella, porque mi manager es la misma manager de Yana Santos. Entonces, me escribe eso, yo estoy casi próximas horas para irme a Panamá, maleta lista, y dije, mira, si quieres pelear con Norma, sí. Si tú me aseguras que sí, me mandan el contrato, yo no me voy, pero no me vayas a decir como que sí o no, y yo estoy aquí esperando y no va a pasar. Entonces él me dijo, dame 20 minutos. Pasaron los 20 minutos, me mandaron todo, sí va a ser. Y yo así como que, viendo el celular, o sea, yo estaba así como que, yo no estaba viendo nombre, yo estaba viendo número 3. O sea, honestamente, ¿por qué? Porque, mira, yo no tengo ninguna rivalidad con Norma, o sea, Norma me cae súper bien. De hecho, nosotros nos hemos visto en semana de pelea, nos saludamos de abrazo, cómo está, respeto. Pero como nos dijimos, esto es pelea, esto va a ser 15 minutos de enemistad por el sábado, y después allá todo bien, ¿no? Quien gane, que se lleve la pelea, pues así lo quiso Dios, así lo quiso el destino, pero cada quien se está subiendo al octágono a luchar por su victoria. Yo voy a buscar mi victoria, ella también. Obviamente, supongo que ella no quiere perder con la número 11, y supongo que yo quiero ganar entrar al top 5 para ser contendiente, así que va a ser una pelea a fuego.
I was actually on my way to the airport, and I got the call. I was going to go to Panama, see the family, and then I get the call. I was like, listen, do you want Norma Dumont? I was like, yeah, I want that fight. Are you sure? Yes, I am. All right, so let's go. Well, can you confirm this? Because I'm going to the airport right now, I'm about to hop into the flight. So I can't just stop in my tracks for something that's not going to materialize. Well, give me 90 minutes and I'll do it. Well, time went by and I just got it. I see on my phone. I was like, oh, and it's happening. And I didn't look at the name. I looked at the number. I looked at number 3 and I was like, listen, and I don't have a problem with Norma at all on a personal level. I actually see her during fight week. I'd have no problem, never had an issue with it. So, but again, this is our job. This is what we come out to do. We come here to fight. And I know that people say, like, listen, I'm happy to be here. Put me in this position, whatever it is. No, but we're here to fight. When you go up into the octagon, it is on you, and you need to fight, and you need to take those fights. So I'm very happy with the opportunity. I want to get a win against the number 3 as much as she does not want to lose to number 11. So we're very happy with the fight, and happy with the opportunity to get up in the top.
Gracias, Joselyne. Suerte el sábado.
Just one quick one. I know you said you want to get, if you get the win here, you want to get that title shot. But I know right now at the top of the division, there's some uncertainties with wondering when Kayla's going to be able to come back. Supposedly she's maybe going to start training right now. But if you want that title shot, are you going to try to maybe ask for an interim shot? If so, who would that be with, do you think? And if you are willing to wait around for Kayla, what makes you able to answer the problem that is Kayla Harrison that she poses for everybody else?
Mencionaste la incertidumbre de la división de 135, que las cosas no están muy claras, pero sí que te gustaría la oportunidad de pelear por un cinturón contra Kayla. O sea, si hay una cuestión ahí porque todavía no está lista para pelear o algo no pasa, ¿estarías contenta con un cinturón interino en ese momento? Y más allá, si te dan la oportunidad de pelear contra Kayla Harrison, ¿cómo traes la solución para este gran problema para tantas que fue Kayla Harrison?
Mira, claro, yo estaría muy feliz si se hace el título interino ganando esta pelea. Pienso que sería contendiente para tener esa oportunidad. Sí, la de la división está muy aguantada, todo lo demás, todos lo saben, pero yo estoy lista para hacer el trabajo. Estoy lista para cualquiera que venga ganando esta pelea. Quiero pelear con la campeona, la número 1, la número 2. Y si se da el título interino, la que me pongan. Pero mi mentalidad ahora es, como se dice en mi país, pasarle el camión por encima al que se le tenga que pasar para agarrar mi oportunidad. Porque si no es así, no vas a conseguir las cosas en la vida. Y como es este deporte de puro show, tienes que demostrar. Yo estoy demostrando matando a mis oponentes y no haciéndosela fácil. Entonces, pienso que ganando esta pelea sería inevitable que no fuera contendiente a esa oportunidad.
Yes, I want to be the next title contender, the next title challenger. I know, as you said, there's been a lot of uncertainty in the division of whoever's going to fight, whenever is ready to go. If the opportunity presents itself, why not? Obviously, I'll be ready to go. But if it's a number 1, 2 in the rankings that they want to put me in, that so be it. It's like we like to say in Panama, like what I can do right now is basically run the truck over anybody, whoever it is on the middle of the road, right? And that's what I came here to do. I mean, came to kill and destroy anybody that's in my way, and whoever they put in front of me, we'll take the chance. So I want to fight, and I want to get a title, and whatever it is that they put in front of me, the only thing I can do, because this sport is about putting on a show. So just give me the person that I'll put on the show.
Thank you.
What's up, man? How are we feeling heading into this Saturday night? Big fight. How are we feeling? How's training camp? Give us all the standard questions.
I feel fucking amazing, man. It's an exciting moment. I'm very excited to take every moment of this. And like I said, I said it before. I wanted to headline a card, and here's the opportunity. And I can't wait to go out there and thrive on this opportunity and perform.
You said about headlining a card. Obviously, that is a big moment for anyone. But to also look at your opponent, you know, has a very storied career.
I know, it's crazy. It's making my resume look small as shit. So I was like, it's pretty crazy that like I saw they were like, oh, Youssef hasn't fought nobody. The only win he has is Josh Emmett and all this stuff. And I'm like, they're like Cater's 0-5 or all this. I was like, those guys fought those guys as well. I was like, I don't know what to tell you. I was like, this is my time. I was young. I was like, you guys were fucking in the UFC. I was like, it is what it is. So, but that's the beauty of this sport is you get to go against a guy like that, beat him, and you get to steal his resume pretty much.
So you sort of answered my question there. I feel like sometimes when there's a big step up in terms of the resume of your opponent, right, it can maybe feel like, oh, this is a big moment. This is a tough challenge.
Yeah.
But getting the impression for you, you're like, no, I'm going to take that. That's
100%, bro. I was like, I want to be the guy that like, oh, you should fight like this guy, you know what I mean? And I never turned down a fight. I never picked a fight. I just like, hey, the only fight they gave me, to be honest, is the Josh Emmett fight. I asked for Josh Emmett. They gave me the Josh Emmett. I asked for Laurent Murphy for the longest. I never got that one. So maybe that one is in the future, 100%. But yeah, like you said, I want to be the guy to steal that resume and then be like, okay, work smarter, not harder, as they say. That's how I feel like.
And how does the fight itself play out in your mind? I'm sure you've imagined it going well, going bad. How does it go for you on Saturday? What are you anticipating?
Man, I really do believe this fight, I don't see it going 5 rounds. You know what I mean? I think we both bring an awkward style in a way, a weird style, especially with his striking. And obviously we all know his grappling as well. So I'm very excited to see that puzzle of my game and then see the puzzle of his game as well, how he deals with a guy that's trying to attack him as well in the grappling aspect.
Good luck, mate.
Thank you, my man. Appreciate you.
It's definitely been a process.
My man. Let's go. How you doing?
Good. And it's crazy cool to see you at the Apex so much, but now you got that main event right back where I'm pretty sure you feel you belong. But you've never been shy about talking about this journey.
Yes.
Leaving the organization, coming back. What would you say to yourself, not just about trusting the process, but that you really earned these victories and even this moment tonight that you could really savor this, and because you sure as hell earned it.
I appreciate you, man. That means a lot. I feel like the patience, right, and all that stuff, just to kind of experience that. I feel like young and dumb like turns into like you being an idiot. You know what I mean? And like really, I never had a problem with hard working. I never had a problem with being confident. I think it's like the biggest thing we said is purpose. You know what I mean? And I think once you find purpose in this life, life becomes a lot simpler. I don't want to say easier, it becomes simpler. You know what I mean? We all lose, we all win, we all grow. There's a lot of things that can happen. You know what I mean? So for me, I give it to like just to that patience and then finding that purpose in that journey. And I want to share that journey, especially with the upcoming guys and just the regular guys in life. You know what I mean? I'm like, you can lose some and still become one of the greatest to ever do this sport. So,
absolutely. Sergio Martinez said it when he lost to Cotto. You have to learn how to win and also learn how to lose, and it's just all part of that journey. Does it ever get overwhelming? Because this is for sure what you asked for, what you dreamt about, what you desired, but it's actually here now. Do you ever kind of take a step back from being the Morocco Devil and say like, damn, I really am here?
I think my people around me tell me that, man. I'm usually hard on myself, and like I really have a hard time of doing that. But I remember just on Monday before I got here on Tuesday, Coach shows us a highlight video. Coach made a highlight video of me and stuff like that, and he shared it with the team, and we all watched it and showing us like, hey, like this is you manifested this, you did this, and here you are. The hard work is done. Now you get to go out there and have fun and stuff like that. And I think that's the biggest thing, just to kind of sit back and really be grateful for life and the things that I've accomplished and I did. You know what I mean? It's hard. It's really hard for me sometimes. I'm a meathead when it comes to like when I focus on a goal, that's all I care about is that goal. You know what I mean? And sometimes I forget about the outside life. But yeah, I've been blessed enough to have great people around me to kind of, like you said, make me step away a little bit. Like, hey, you've done this, you did this, you came here and changed your life, and I can't wait to keep changing my life.
That's awesome, man. And I have to piggyback off of that because, in essence, you have to be almost obsessed
Yes.
with that goal, right?
Yeah.
To be able to accomplish it. Speaking of being obsessed, this whole new level you're on, obviously there's no going back. You've asked for it, we're here. How much more do you incorporate into 5-round fights, media days, studying the opponent, or is just another day at the office? Do you switch gears at all now that you're here? Or do you continue what you're doing because it got you to this point?
You keep doing what you're doing. It got you to this point. You know, my strength conditioning coach always says, is like, it got you here. There's no difference, you know what I mean? I think the biggest difference is more pressure, you know? And then the more pressure, the more privilege it is, you know what I mean? Like the champ said in our division, you know what I mean? So, and I think my teammates and everybody feels that as well, you know? And I'm very obsessed with this sport. I'm very obsessed. I want to become a world champion, and I will be a world champion. And it all starts April 25th.
Absolutely. And last for me, because you touched about it a little bit with Oscar, but we have a former champion. We have an established name. Obviously, you know, hopefully he's not looking past you like maybe Emmett did, and obviously that didn't turn out too good. But what keeps you grounded? What keeps you humble for this 5-minute war you might be getting yourself into on Saturday?
It's discipline. It's discipline. It really keeps me disciplined. You know, I feel like all the things that I've done is like, why you need to change it now? It's like, I don't care what he does. I don't care what he brings to the table. Like Mike Tyson said, everybody has a game plan until they get hit, right? So for the end of the day, it's like, I'm staying true to me, and I'm being me, and it got me here, and it will keep getting me here, and the rest is out of my hand. I control what I can control, and the uncontrollable, like Coach said, is not in my hand. It's up to God and whatever my faith is, and that's what happens.
Awesome, and I appreciate it. Good luck on Saturday, sir.
Thank you, my man. I appreciate you.
Youssef, over here. At the end of the night on Saturday, one of both names will be in the conversation to be a direct contender for the title. How competitive do you see the division, the top of the division, for yourself?
Oh, it's very competitive. I feel like there's a new contender every other day. Now it's like you got, what's his name? Who won the last one? The Dan Ige one against, what's his name? I can't say his name right. He's on he got like Arnold Allen and stuff like that. And like you got Kevin. Apparently he's been talking shit. So that's interesting as well. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of competitive division. I think it's one of the most competitive division in the UFC, just because there's a new like contender every other time. So it's very exciting, and it brings more eyes on us, which I love.
So what would be your plus to be like the best of them, of all of the names that are in the conversation for be a contender?
Say that again.
What is your plus to be you the one, the number one contender?
Oh, it means the world to me. I can't wait to be that one, and I will be that one. You know what I mean? I feel like I've been still I don't even know, what do you guys call it? Dark horse or whatever the hell that is. But
yeah, dark horse.
I don't even think I was the dark horse. I think Steve Garcia still got that one, I think. But I guess whatever. But I'm still the guy that's just like slowly climbing up. But I like keep him thinking that way. Keep him thinking like, oh, Youssef is just another guy and stuff like that. And then once you will sit here and then be like, hey, oh, I told you guys, I told you so. And that's my motivation. That's what I look for.
Thank you, Youssef.
Thank you so much.
Like you mentioned before, you know, you're talking about Aljamain. He's fought the who's who in the division. You know, I think a lot of guys, even you look at the odds makers gave you the slight nod. Do you still?
Oh, I'm the favorite?
You're the favorite right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn, okay.
So that's how you bring it these days. Are you still imagining that the Aljamain that's going to be across the cage is the most dangerous Aljamain that there's ever been as well? I think a lot of people sometimes think, well, Aljamain, he had his best days, but maybe they're not there anymore. Do you still feel like this is the most dangerous Aljo?
Yeah, this is the most dangerous Aljo. Just because I think he has a point to prove. You know what I mean? And he's on a proving point streak right now. So it's like, for me, it's like, at the end of the day, I was like, stick to my gut, stick to who I am, and be ready, because I want to beat the best Aljo. I want to beat, because you can't say you want to be a world champion and you think he's gonna slide by like some other guys. You know what I mean? This guy fought who's and all that stuff, and that's what I look at. You know, and I'm like, that's a very dangerous guy, and also a very experienced guy. And I think that's the difference between an experienced guy and like a good guy.
And I got to imagine this would be the biggest feather in your cap, you know, should you get the win. So how do you maintain that your control of your mental focus? How do you not get so excited that you want to go in and then just knock this guy out because then you can hang him on the wall and say, all right, I beat Aljo, give me that title shot? How do you maintain that control and stay focused and stay on the game plan on the night of the fight?
I think this all the stuff that we did in the training camp, you know what I mean? I feel like the discipline is the biggest thing with this fight, and especially with him, like you said, you don't want to get all excited and all this because he's experienced. Experience is the best teacher. I keep saying this multiple times, and you don't want to be young and dumb down there, especially against Aljamain Sterling. He will make you pay very, very, very bad, in a bad way. So for me, I just look at it, it's another fight, stay disciplined, be me, and that's what's going to get me to the top.
How busy were you drilling takedown defense? And I imagine that I'm guessing that you're thinking that he's going to take you down, that he doesn't want to stand in the middle of the octagon with you, but how busy you been drilling those takedown defense?
Man, those guys behind you been whooping my fucking ass, bro. Like, fuck those guys, bro. They've been whooping my ass. No, I love those guys, man. They've been really pushing me, man. The takedown, the grappling, and all that stuff. So you prepare for that stuff, right? Obviously, you can't be delusional, be like, oh yeah, I don't got to worry about his wrestling or this and that. You have to worry about what he brings to the table. But we also got something in the books as well for him as well. So I think we'll see what he brings to the table, but I got some stuff bringing it into the table as well.
And last for me, you were talking about just growth in the game. I'm also knowing that the beard's growing a little bit and the hair's growing a little bit. Are we going to see you cleaned up before fight night, or are we seeing a wilder, different?
You get a little cleaned up. You know, I think I got better, like a little better compliments and stuff like that. So you know, I'm like,
I dig it. I'm just wondering.
I appreciate it. I'm like, bro, these guys didn't care, bro. Look at them, bro. They didn't give a shit. I was fucking with you. I love you guys, but it's I kind of was like out of nowhere. I was like, let me just grow my hair. I was like, let me show my African roots, my curly hair and stuff like that. And sure enough, as soon as I did it, and everybody loved it, and I was like, oh shit, maybe this is a good look, you know. And then I get new photos and stuff like that. So I was having a blast. I was being way too light skinned, so I need to chill out. I need to chill out a little bit. I can't be too toxic. Come on.
And last for me, I mean, I'm sure you played this head out many times in your head, but at the end of the night, what do you need to do? What are your keys to the victory to make sure that you get your arm raised on Saturday?
My keys to victory is being me, right, and going out there and making a statement. I think that's the biggest thing in this. I think it's a statement fight, and then like the last fight was a statement fight as well. But I think this fight, he has bigger resume than Josh Emmett, even though Josh Emmett fought the who's as well. So I think that's what like the difference between that and the Josh Emmett fight, and which excites me. You know, it gives you those tingling feeling. You know what I mean? You're like, holy shit! Like you going out there and doing that. You know what I mean? So, and I think that's what I'm taking it at. Being me, do what I done the whole camp, and can't wait to get that victory.
Hey, Youssef, just a quick one from me. If everything will go according to your plan on Saturday night, on Tuesday morning, you will wake up as a top 5 contender. So I'm looking at the ranking right now.
I like that.
Yeah. Look, number 4, Yair Rodriguez, he already has his chance. Lerone Murphy, he's just coming out of the loss. Diego Lopez had 2 title chances. Movsar Yevloev, UFC doesn't like him. So what are the odds that you will be next for the Volk?
It all comes back to the statement you make on Saturday night. And I think that's what's set up. You go out there and make it, you get a sub against Aljamain, I think you're for sure getting the title shot. Like, nobody ever submitted him. Nobody done that. You go out there and knock him out. You're only one of the few guys to ever do that. It's like, it's pretty insane. You know what I mean? And the legends that done it to him, it's pretty, like, the resume speaks itself. So I'm just trying to grow my resume and trying to grow my dreams and follow my dreams.
Best of luck.
Thank you so much. Órale.
Let's go.
Norma, bom dia. Norma, seu estilo evoluiu para um jogo muito físico e estratégico dentro do octógono. Em que momento você deixou de pensar apenas em vencer lutas e passou a pensar em dominar divisões?
Eu acho que esse sempre foi meu jogo. Eu tenho um estilo de jogo mais completo, mais inteligente mesmo. E a partir do momento que eu comecei a me conhecer, e comecei a ver que dentro do octógono eu conseguia ler as minhas adversárias muito fácil, eu comecei a bolar estratégia em cima disso. Então, realmente, dentro do octógono ali, às vezes eu preciso de 1 ou 2 minutos para eu poder encaixar o jogo, achar a distância, achar o time do jogo, e rapidamente eu me adapto ali se precisar. Então, vamos dizer que eu acho que deve ter umas 6 lutas para trás ali que eu comecei a calcular isso e exatamente 6 lutas quando eu comecei a vencer em seguidas. E eu acho que é mais ou menos isso.
Ok. Você já esteve perto do topo da divisão, mas ainda sem uma chance clara pelo cinturão. Você sente que neste ponto da sua carreira essa luta é mais sobre consolidar definitivamente ou como desafiante do que qualquer outra coisa?
Não, eu acho que eu já sou consolidada desafiante. Na verdade, eu não estou agora na possível disputa de título pelo fato da categoria estar totalmente travada. E eu tenho consciência disso. Eu só, na verdade, a luta é para me manter ativa, para manter trabalhando, devido à dificuldade que é fazer essa disputa de título dos pesos galos. Demora demais, calha a manda, a gente nunca sabe quando vai acontecer, a gente não sabe o que vai acontecer depois, se vai ter uma revanche, se vão pedir uma super luta com o Valentina. A gente sabe que não tem interesse da Kylie em lutar comigo, isso eu tenho certeza. Da Amanda, ela tinha me prometido que se ela vencesse eu seria a próxima, mas a gente não sabe o objetivo, se ela vai querer aposentar ou não depois. Então, essa luta é para eu manter o meu trabalho, para eu me manter nas mídias, aparecendo, para eu ter meu momento no microfone também e evoluindo, né? Eu acho que é isso. Toda vez que a gente sobe ali, independente de quem está do outro lado, a gente evolui e aprende. E é sempre o meu objetivo.
Ok. Se essa luta termina como uma performance dominante sua, o que você acha que ainda precisaria acontecer para finalmente não poder te ignorar como uma candidata ao título?
A categoria começar a trabalhar, né? A Amanda e a Kyla se resolverem e logo em seguida pararem de recusar a luta comigo e fazer o que tem que ser feito. Mas eu acredito que vai acontecer. Eu falo isso para elas, eu não tenho pressa. Quanto mais elas demorarem, pior, porque o problema delas é exatamente esse. Eu não canso. Eu continuo treinando, eu continuo evoluindo. Eu acho que esse é o receio delas, porque sabe que eu entro no octógono, no tatame todos os dias com uma faixa branca para aprender, para evoluir. Então, quanto mais tempo demorar, pior vai ser. Mais preparada eu vou chegar.
Obrigada, Norma.
Norma, I'm sorry if some of these are repeats, but I guess co-main event, what's your excitement level coming in here, and what was your thoughts when they gave you the name Joselyne Edwards?
Desculpe porque algumas das suas perguntas são repetidas, mas como é que está a sua cabeça, retornar ao octágono, como é que você está se sentindo?
Cara, eu estou me sentindo muito bem, muito tranquila, feliz de não ter ficado mais um ano fora, né? Porque da última vez foi muito difícil arrumar a luta para mim. Estou empolgada, eu gosto de lutar com frequência, eu acho que de 4 em 4 meses é uma data boa, um período bom, e eu me sinto bem.
Yeah, I'm really feeling very well. I'm really happy. I don't like to stay out for a year before I fight. Ideally, I'd like to fight every 4 months. So I'm really happy and really excited to be here.
And then as for your opponent across the cage from you in this one, where is she dangerous and what sort of stuff are you expecting from Joselyne?
Sua oponente, onde ela é perigosa e onde está a dificuldade na luta contra a Joselyne?
Cara, a Joselyne é perigosa em todas as áreas. É uma atleta muito forte, tem a mão pesada, tem um bom nível de grappling também. Eu acho que é uma atleta que, obviamente, tem falhas ali, que é onde eu vou explorar, mas é uma atleta perigosa em ambas as áreas. E eu me preparei para a gente trabalhar tanto em pé quanto no chão, porque eu acredito que essa é uma luta que vai mesclar muito vai trocar muito de jogo, né? Vai ficar um pouco em pé, vai ficar um pouco no chão. Então, eu me preparei para todas as áreas. Mas eu acredito e eu vejo que ela tem riscos nas duas, né, tanto em pé quanto no chão, e também tem falhas, tanto em pé quanto no chão.
She's a dangerous fighter. She's a strong fighter. I think this fight's going to be a kind of mix-up between stand-up and groundwork. She's dangerous in both areas. She's also, there's a lot of holes in her game. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to explore those holes and put my fight into, impose my will.
And she's already thinking of, with a win over you, she's already thinking of title shots, potential, you know, what the next steps. Do you think if she's already thinking of that she's maybe at risk of overlooking you and she's already thinking beyond that? And would that be dangerous for her to be overlooking you?
Ela está pensando já em te vencer e lutar pelo título. Você acha que é uma falha da parte dela? Está olhando além de você já pensando em título?
Não, eu acho que ela tem que olhar mesmo. Eu acho que se ela for olhar para a carreira dela, tem que pensar sempre assim. Não acho que ela tem que pensar para trás, não. E se ela conseguir, de fato, me vencer, você pode ter certeza que ela merece. Porque se ela conseguir passar por mim, é porque realmente o nível dela está alto.
No, I don't think so. I think it's her career. I think that's the attitude she has to have. And if she can beat me, I think that's what she has to try to do. So I don't think that's negative at all.
Well, I guess one follow-up to that, you know, there's still some uncertainty at the top of the division right now. Everybody's wondering when Kayla's going to come back. Supposedly she's going to start training now. Do you think that there is a need to start talking about an interim, or is everybody at the top like yourself waiting and hoping for that fight next after this?
E agora nós temos essa incerteza no topo da divisão. A Keila parece que está voltando de cirurgia, não sabemos direito o que vai acontecer. Você acha que já tem que ter uma conversa sobre um título interino enquanto ela não voltar?
A gente já tentou, né? Já tentou essa conversa. A Amanda recusou, disse que não tinha interesse, que ela quer realmente a luta contra a Keila. Não acho que o UFC vai me colocar e escalar um aleatório ali para fazer um interino. Se não for a Amanda, não vai ser outra. E a Amanda já recusou, então, realmente, eu acho que a gente vai ficar nesse impasse aí até as duas resolverem finalmente entrar no octógono.
I don't think so. That's something we already tried, and Amanda wasn't interested in the fight. I think what has to happen is Kyla and Amanda have to fight, so then we figure out who I fight next.
And then last for me, looking at Saturday, I'm sure you've played this fight out in your head. What are your keys to the victory? What needs to happen to make sure that you get your arm raised on Saturday?
E olhando para sábado, eu tenho certeza que já passou isso mil vezes na sua cabeça. O que você tem que fazer para ganhar essa luta?
Cara, acho que para vencer essa luta eu preciso ser inteligente, saber a hora certa de atacar, saber a hora certa de defender e fazer o que eu faço melhor lá dentro, que é controlar o adversário.
I think I have to be smart. I have to know when I have to attack, when I have to defend, and do what I do best is control my opponent.
Norma, thank you for taking the time for me today. Whether it be just to stay active or a replacement, some fighters don't like to fight back. And obviously you're so high up that people might have questioned it. Was there ever even an option to not take this fight because you're putting that number 3 on the line versus her 11?
Norma, muitas lutadoras não gostam de lutar, quer se manter em ação, mas não gostam de lutar com lutadores muito abaixo no ranking. No seu caso, você está bem acima do ranking. Sobre ela, o que você acha dos riscos e dessa situação da luta?
Cara, eu acho que assim, se eu conseguisse lutar com alguém acima do ranking ali, obviamente eu ia preferir alguém acima do ranking. Mas eu não tenho previsão nenhuma de conseguir um confronto com alguém bem posicionado na organização. E ano passado eu fiquei esperando alguém aceitar a luta e eu acabei que fiquei 1 ano fora. 1 ano e 2 meses sem nenhum oponente. Estava bem, estava saudável e não tinha nenhum oponente. Então, foi uma decisão que eu tomei de não parar, não esperar, porque senão vai se passar mais 1 ano e eu vou ficar mais 1 ano do lado de fora. Isso, para mim, não é interessante. Obviamente, eu sei todos os riscos que a Joselyne traz, não só ela, como qualquer outro adversário, derrota é derrota, não importa como. Sei os riscos que a Joselyne traz, mas eu garanto meu trabalho, eu treino, eu confio no que eu tenho que fazer, e é realmente uma questão de confiança. Eu preciso ter certeza de que eu vou entrar lá e sair com o braço erguido, senão eu não teria nem como pedir uma chance pelo título.
Ideally, I'd like to fight against people that were ranked above me or near me, But I spent a year and 2 months waiting for that, and it didn't happen. So I have to keep in action. Every fight poses a risk. This fight is a risk also, but I can't stop because of this. I have to keep on moving forward. And I think that is the best way to carry on.
Love that. Completely agree. And last for me, once we did get this name and you could lock in on Joselyne, what did you and the team see as far as like your advantages over her, strengths, and what did you study as far as the tape goes to prepare for this bout on Saturday?
Concordo com você. E uma vez que se estabeleceu o oponente como a Joselyne, o que você e sua equipe viram nela, viram os buracos, o que vocês acharam, ou estão achando dela?
A gente acredita que ela tem um jogo muito perigoso, tem mãos potentes, tem um bom grappler, mas a gente viu bastante falhas também, que vocês vão ver no sábado. Depois, no sábado, eu apresento para vocês as falhas dela.
She's a strong fighter, she's a good striker, she's a good grappler, but we've seen holes, and Saturday I'll tell you about the holes.
Thank you so much. Good luck on Saturday. Obrigado.
Done.
Thank you.
right.
Why is that? They didn't say nothing last time in China.
I kind of need them for my part. He's been promising me.
Let's do it.
Welcome, sir. Looking sharp, ready to go. It's like a business meeting, not just a media day.
You know, I'm a businessman, they say, these days. So ready to handle business on Saturday and handle some other business after that.
Absolutely. This isn't anything unfamiliar to you. You've been here, done that, main evented, big fights, COVID times, you name it. What could they possibly throw at you? But now you're going up against these young guns. How do we stay relevant here and not just, fall complacent to like, well, I'm Sterling. Of course I'm going to win.
It's easy to get complacent, but when you train with these young guys in the gym every day and they're getting after you, it has to keep you on top of your game. It pushes you to want to do that. And training with a guy like Youssef before in the past, it's definitely given me that inside look of how he thinks and what motivates him to want to win this fight. So I got my work cut out for me, but I think Big Brother is going to prevail and show him it's just not his time yet. It's still the Funk Master time.
And you kind of beat me to the punch there. When guys have history, MMA, boxing, they sparred together, trained together, rolled together, just even hung out. How are you able to separate that and just keep that, it's business? 25 minutes, we're not friends, I'm here to kill.
It's not easy. I had to do it with Brian Ortega, and that was a little weird one for me. Even when I had him hurt with the right hand in the round 2, I kind of pulled back because he said I poked him in the eye. I was like, dude, that was a punch, man. But I took my foot off the gas because, I like the guy, I like Youssef too, but, if I get him hurt, I don't plan to make that mistake again and just go out there and get the finish. And I got to do what I got to do, man. I'm trying to make history. I'm trying to win a second belt. I'm trying to fight the legend, the OG, and Volkanovski. And in order to do that, I got to get past Youssef Zalal, and I got to do it in Funk Master fashion and get some style points.
My man. And with that being said, you're too experienced and too seasoned to look past people. But how do you surround yourself with the right guys and girls to keep you grounded and say, I know what the goal is, and yes, I want to be a two-weight champion, but I have an obstacle this Saturday to get past, and that is the #1 priority?
Wait, so what's the question?
About just staying humble and grounded, because you can just as easily say, I'm that guy, I've done this already. But you already mentioned Volkanovski. We can't get to Volk if you don't get past Youssef.
Yeah, it's Youssef is good, but shit, man, I've been doing this for a very long time. I didn't have to get cut and make my way back. He did. He had to dig deep to do that, and I think it's two different type of mental attitudes, right? He could have went to the regional circuit, maybe lost and packed it up, but he decided to come back, made his run through. And then for me, I've been knocked down, been knocked out, built myself back up, and here I am today. I've become a world champion at the Bantamweight division, tied with the most wins with one of my best friends in Marab Davalishvili, and I got the most wins in Bantamweight history. So I didn't get here by accident. This is no cakewalk for Youssef Zalal, and if he thinks it's going to be easy, he's got a rude awakening coming this Saturday. I'm giving it everything I got. He's a young gun. I got to break him. I got to break him in there. Simple as that. The goal is to go out there, dominate, and break the dude.
My man. Who did we bring in to, obviously, you got Marab, one of the greatest in the game, to just kind of vibe off of, but who did you bring in to emulate Youssef's style and get you ready for these possible 25-minute war?
We had Jeremy Kennedy. We had Shane Collins. We had some good guys. Marab for the cardio aspect. I know he's not the same height and as tall with the same skill set. But we prepare for everything, just not leaving any stones unturned. We're doing a lot of Shark Tanks, people taking my back, working my escapes, me working my offensive attacks. And I think if I don't get the finish in the third round, this fight's going to come down to cardio and grit and who wants it more. And I know it's one thing to say you want it more, it's another thing to go out there and show it and prove it, and I'm willing to die in there.
That's what's up, man. I love that. Besides having that belt and being title holder at 135 and being on these posters and doing these media days, like just another day at the office, what was the reaction when you got that name on the contract? Besides having that experience, what did you say? Like, oh, okay, we eventually knew we were going to cross paths.
Well, the matchmaker said they weren't going to make the fight because they thought it was an awful fight. And then Youssef submitted Josh Emmett, and then here we are. They made the fight. So, you know, eventually things were going to be bound to happen. I'm friendly with all these guys, Yair Rodriguez, Brian Ortega. I was a bantamweight for a very long time, so it was easy to become friendly with these guys, right? And now I'm at their division. I'm more of the target, and I'm like the friend of me now, you know? So I saw the name, and I was like, you know, it is what it is. I sent them a text message like, yo, it's all love. I know you got dreams you're trying to accomplish and chase, as am I. I know I already reached that pinnacle, but I'm not done yet. I'm not complacent, and I'm not content. You know, I'm greedy, man. I want it all. You know, it's not just for me. It's for me and my family, me and my people around me, giving my friends opportunities to do things with them, building other people up, giving back to my community. I do a lot of things outside of this sport that people might not see, that doesn't get the shine that it probably deserves. But that's not why I do it, you know. It's not to highlight and say, oh, look at me, I'm helping out, you know. So I'm happy with everything I've been able to do in this sport. Getting a win is just going to make things that much sweeter and open up more opportunities and more walks of life for me to help out with people, you know. So that's what it's all about for me. And, of course, now I got my company, my Funk Harbor Rum, and we're doing big things with that. Got an announcement with that soon, and giving people an opportunity to join the ride and be a part investor. So just a lot of things working on. And I remember being in Shanghai, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, making business calls, trying to get things done the right way. And that just shows the grind and the hustle I'm willing to do. It's like sometimes people think it could be a distraction, but I think it's more of a motivator for me. And hopefully I get to start a family later this year.
Awesome, man. If you can juggle all that, even more props to you. And you, like you said, you really can't help anyone out if you can't help yourself first. And that's cool that you and Youssef. Would you be happier if he was talking trash and you had a reason to hate him, or is it harder to fight somebody that you're good with and there's respect and love?
I like trash talk, so it's a little weird to not have it with these guys. Ortega, there's no trash talk. Youssef, there's no trash talk. It's more playful jokes than anything, and it's like kind of like where I'm from, Long Island. We kind of just, you know, jab at each other here and there. But I'm coming to whoop his ass, man. That's it. I don't need the extra motivation. I'm motivated. I worked hard. These guys see me work. These guys see me put the hours in. And, man, if I get this done, which I really do think I will, turn back the clock, get to fight a legend, continue my track to be one of the greatest of all time in just the whole entire sport. This is more for me than it is for anybody else. It's me versus me in there on Saturday night, and I can't wait to go out there and put on a show. Like the ones who want to doubt and whatever, just keep watching. Keep watching. The Funk Master's coming, and I'm going to show you guys why they call me the Funk Master on April 25th.
That's awesome, man. And last for me, been there, done that, titles, DQs, eye pokes, Funk Harbor business, all that. We're here on Saturday, and you know you're ready to really make a statement. Do you feel that you still have to let people know who you are, even with all the time that you put in and how seasoned you are with the UFC?
Yes and no. It's a little weird because some people only been introduced to Aljamain Sterling with the first Piotr Jan fight, and that's unfortunate because they got to miss all the great performances I've had before that, all the finishes, all the things I've done in the bantamweight division. And if you really want to know who I am, go back and watch. It's not hard to do. And you can see how I got here. I didn't get here by getting a handout. I didn't get the Dana White privilege. I didn't get none of that. Like I said, I've been knocked out before my title run, build myself back up. I was that undefeated fighter coming in, won 4 fights in the UFC, finished the last 3 fights on my contract, then suffered 2 losses back-to-back, split decision, but still lost, and built myself back, man. At the end of the day, glass half full. I'm that type of person. I don't look at things in a very negative way that some people do and get down on themselves. It's just, how can I get better? What can I do to change my environment and my circumstances? And that's how I try to preach life to everybody, because I come from that poor background where I didn't have much. And I used to blame everybody else, blame the system. And then once I realized there's an opportunity for me to do things my way, it might be a little bit harder, but I could do things my way, and I get that opportunity. And here I am today, living testament of that, and just trying to be a good role model in that sense. But, you know, I never got in to be a role model. It kind of just happened on its own, and I'm glad if I can inspire anybody out there. And, If the first fight you saw of me was Petr Yan won, then please go back, watch the other ones. That's all I can say. And you understand why they call me the Funk Master. And we're going to continue running, man. I'm going to run this thing up till the wheels fall off, and that's it.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you for being inspiration in the cage and outside of it. And good luck on Saturday, sir.
Thank you.
And following with that, I mean, obviously a champion to be a champion again, you could be a role model, but just outside of having a belt or not, but being a role model, how important is that? And was it important to you initially, or is it something that's grown in importance, being a role model to future generations?
No, it wasn't important to me originally, like at all. You know, before I started this sport, I was going to college and through wrestling. If I didn't start wrestling, I wouldn't have gone to college. And it showed me a whole different walk of life. There's more to the world other than Uniondale, New York, and doing the same old BS that I was doing in the neighborhood, following my brother's footsteps, on the cusp of joining the Bloods with him. And I'm just glad I decided to take a different turn in my life, and it really worked out. So when I look back at all the decisions I made, it's been nothing but positive, and that's my inspiration for the kids. If I can share them a story, it's like, hey, you don't have to let other people decide your path. You get the chance to decide. And again, it might not be the easiest, and this is a deep-rooted thing. It's not something that's just a black and white thing that's easy to construe that thought, right? It's a whole lot of unpacking, but with that said, we do have an opportunity still, as long as we decide to make the right choices and we push ourselves forward. It's going to be hard. It's never going to be easy. I didn't have an easy road to get here, but I'm here. You work hard, you put the time in, you won't be denied. At the end of the day, winners can't be denied. So that's kind of how I approach the sport, how I've always approached life since I started wrestling. And what I loved about wrestling that it taught me was you get in what you put in. And this is the same thing with this sport in MMA. You get in what you put in. So if you don't put in the work, expect the results that you put in. And I put in a lot of work for this, so I plan to win on Saturday night.
I know you put in a lot of work in, and just listening back to your words right there, it's got to feel kind of surreal when you're able to say that there was a point where you almost joined a gang, and then look at where you're at now. You got businesses, you got bottles hanging out right there by your feet. You were a UFC champion, and on the doorstep again. How surreal. I mean, do you ever have those moments where you kind of get those humbling moments to when you look back at your past and think, or just thank yourself for those decisions that you made to put you into this point?
Yeah, for sure. Sometimes I wake up in the morning and I'm in my bed. I'm in a king-size bed, and I'm just like, I come a long way from sharing a bunk bed and sharing a twin-size bed and living with Ally Quinta, paying $500 a month just to try to get by to make this dream a possibility. And I made sure I got my college degree because that's what I wanted to do first. I wanted to be a coach. I wanted to be a mentor for kids. And that was before I even thought about fighting. And then once I got into this, I was like, you know what? I'm young enough to give it a shot. I gave it the best that I had, and it worked out. You know, so I think every day I'm just super grateful for the opportunities I was given, and I'm just glad things worked out the way that it did. It doesn't happen like that for everybody. But if there's one thing I can say, if you keep pushing forward, man, good things are bound to happen. And of course, it gets to a certain point in your life where you need to try different things because maybe something that you really want isn't for you. And trying to force it doesn't really go the right way. You could spend years and years of your life chasing something that may never happen. So it's a little bit of both, right? So you got to be a little bit educated on what you decide to do. And again, I'm just grateful it worked out. And I have no wants, I have no needs. It's whatever I decide to do. And to have a life like that, to work hard for it and to earn it and know that no one's handed it to me, or I don't have to go and say this person did this for me. It feels good to know that you earned it on your own. Blue collar work ethic, and that's what I'm all about. And I respect people who get it from the mud, man. So, like I said, I'm a living testament to that, and life couldn't be any better. But it can get a little bit better with the win on Saturday night. It can get a little bit better.
Well, I know you're also, wrestling's always been a big part of your life, so I'm sure you're enjoying the fact that you're able to go out and compete in RAF and do some of that stuff, and it seems that Dana seems to be giving his blessings to fighters to do that as well. Is that something that you're enjoying, being able to kind of get back to your roots, and is that something you want to keep going forward doing?
100%. I got a couple more matches with those guys. It was just nostalgic to put the singlet back on, lace up the wrestling shoes. I'm like, man, I feel like a young kid again, doing this all over. Like, I'm reliving my high school days, reliving my college days as a wrestling competitor, and it was just surreal just to be back in there and see all the fans that came out to watch, all the young kids. I'm like, to see that, like, that's motivating in itself, and it just makes you appreciate how far you've come. And I'm just really fortunate and happy to be a part of this, and you could actually make decent money wrestling too. So there's no complaints there either. And I know one thing Youssef has said to me is like whenever we see each other at like events and stuff, and he sees me dressed up, and he's like, "Oh, you rich? You got money? You're rich now? You got money now? Look at you! Look at you! You got money now!" And I'm like. And I'm like, yeah, you'll get there one day. You know, just keep working hard. I've been there, and slowly but surely, everything comes to fruition, right? So I know when people say certain things, I know he kind of means it in a different sense, not like in a malicious way, but, you know, he wants what I have, and I can't let him take it from me. I mean, he can't take it from me. He can't. But it's just not his time yet, you know? So he'll get there one day, just not going to be off my back.
You know he's going to come for some payback for that impression right there.
I know.
You mentioned that he, at one point, you know, before the Emmett fight, so did his name come across the table before the Emmett fight, and was it just not worth it at the time, or was it, you know, did his name come across your plate after the Emmett fight?
After the Emmett fight. But before that, the year before, literally about a year before that, we were at Tough Enough, and we spoke with the matchmakers, and we were both there, and we just both told him, like, yo, what's the next fight for both of us? And it just came up in conversation, and we both were like, yeah, don't make this fight. Our styles just don't match well because we're both elusive. I call him Youssef the elusive. But sure enough, you know, he won his last fight in a big way, in impressive fashion, and here it is.
And you mentioned that he was cut, and then he worked his way back. What does that show for you, the fact that what he was able to build after coming back? You know, a lot of guys do get cut and do hang it up, maybe stay on the regional scene, but the fact that he came back, he's on a super impressive run. Is that impressive to you, or do you focus more on the fact of, well, he got cut at some point, you know, where you haven't? I mean...
It's still impressive. I mean, the way he beat those guys on the regional circuit, then came back, impressive. And then the run that he went on in the UFC, impressive as well. It's just one common denominator fight is the fight with Calvin Kattar. I like to think mine was a little bit more dominant than his, and with that said, I didn't have on track shoes, you know. So I'm not trying to. It's hard to compare fights, right? Styles are just different, and I think that's the main key factor in this. Who's going to win those grappling exchanges? Because I know he's going to be looking to take me down at some point. He says he wants to submit me, but I like to see him try. I welcome the grappling. I hope he tries to come and grapple me because I got some tricks. So we'll see what he wants to do in there. And I got plan A, plan B, plan C. So I can adapt, and I'm willing to see what he's trying to do, and I'm just going to take the fight however it comes.
And last for me, you've seen everybody in there. You've been in there with anybody. You're familiar with him. Is there anything that he brings to this cage potentially that you haven't seen in the cage before?
I mean, I fought guys with good footwork before. O'Malley is one of those guys with great footwork. And that was probably my worst night. But other than that, not too many guys that move as much as he does. He has an educated jab, really good calf kicks, and he likes that step-in knee. They call it the low rider. You know, he goes for the calf, low rider, and then he comes up with the knee up the middle. I think they learned that from James Krause and Mark Montoya. They kind of put that together. So he's got some dangerous weapons, but for the most part, there's nothing I haven't seen. I think people see me get kneed by Marlon Moraes, and I feel like most of my opponents now, they just try to do that just in case they could get lucky. But it hasn't worked since then, so hopefully he doesn't get lucky this weekend. But I'm just going to go out there. There's nothing he's done that I haven't seen, and I think there's a lot that I've done that he hasn't seen. The guy he faced and trained with back in 2017 is a completely different animal.
And I know you were going to rep your bottles earlier, but I know you said you had an announcement that's to come. I don't know if that's something that you could tease when you're going to make this announcement that you're...
We're hoping to launch it later this week. Just gives people an opportunity to invest with the company and take the ride with us. So as the company grows, their money grows, that type of thing. So I'm excited about that opportunity. There's some like guidelines. I can't quite say certain things until it's actually announced. But if you want to join the Funk Harper family, man, it's going to be a good one. You know, it's not like some of these other celebrities that just put their name on the brand. I've actually been involved with the tasting process, the label process, the bottling process. So I put a lot of work into this. I actually enjoy it. This is one of the fun things I like to do in my spare time when I'm not fighting. I like to have a nice cocktail. And as an athlete, I like to drink clean. So something that's gluten-free, no additives, no preservatives, no food coloring. And it's a tribute to Jamaica and also inspired by, just built by the American dream, you know? So work hard, good things happen, and using my hard-earned money to do this because I truly do believe in the brand.
Sounds incredible. Best of luck on Saturday.
Thank you.
Aljamain, you just mentioned that you want to see Youssef trying to submit you. And some of the fans call you the human backpack because your back position is one of the most dominant. What specific details make your backpack position so hard to escape?
I just think I have good dexterity in my knees. And just the technical side of it, I could switch and do the figure four triangle on both sides. When I was in college and in high school, I wrestled a lot riding legs from folk style wrestling. In freestyle and Greco, you don't use legs in the top position, so it's mostly just takedowns. And I think that's what gives me the advantage all the years of wrestling, and it makes my back control really, really hard to deal with. And man, I'm really hoping I could bring that back. I know he's going to be doing his work, but I think he's very familiar with my back takes, and he knows once I get to that position, I'm really strong there. So I plan on trying to get him out there and squeeze his head off.
And if everything goes your way, what does a perfect Sterling performance look like for this Saturday?
Perfect Sterling performance, some striking, some takedowns, some scrambling, and me ended up in a dominant position, taking it back, throwing the hooks in, figure four body triangle, putting my arm across the face, and getting my rear naked choke submission.
Thank you, Aljamain.
Aljamain. Just a quick one from me. You were speaking about your future potential matchup with Volk for the title. So don't you think that Movsar will be a little bit quicker than you? Or you don't think that Movsar can beat Volk?
Are you Russian?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Privet.
Как дела?
I think Movsar deserves a fight. I thought he's been deserving of it for a while. Hopefully he gets to crack at the title. After that, I think if I have a great performance, the division is wide open, and I think I could solidify my case to be next in line. And I still think I won that fight with Movsar. I don't care what nobody says. I still think I won that fight. A lot of people thought I won that fight. And if he does happen to win, I'd like to run it back with him.
So if you had a choice to fight for the title, against Volk or to close this loss, okay, paper loss with Movsar?
Title, for sure.
No, I mean Hoof to if Movsar will hold the title. So what is better for you, Volk with title or Movsar with title?
I think Volk with the title. This thing is a bigger name. Movsar's big overseas in the European country side of the world, right? But over here is a little bit different. I think Volkanovski's name holds a lot more weight. It's a bigger fight for them to make. And you're talking about one of the greatest featherweights of all time and someone who's the most winningest bantamweight of all time and has the highest consecutive title defenses in a row. So I think that's a big matchup that it could make, and I just need to go out there, bring it to fruition, and get the job done. And I finally get the dream matchup. And Volkanovski's another guy I got to train with. Super cool dude. I did cooking with Volk on his channel, and we had a great time in Thailand. But he also knows I'm coming for a dream, and it'll be nothing but respect. It'll just be an honor to share the octagon with him.
Thank you. Best of luck on Saturday.
Thank you. Spasiba. Thank you, guys. All that good stuff.
Buenas tardes, Rafa.
Buenas tardes.
Obviamente no es nada que no es familiar. Ya te hemos visto varias veces aquí. Regresas al Apex, como que tu home away from home, como le dicen, otra casa. ¿Cómo se siente todo? ¿Cómo estuvo la preparación para este duelo este sábado?
No, pues muy contento de estar aquí y más de pelear con un rival tan fuerte como Alex Hernández. Siento que hace una pelea muy buena y esta preparación estuvo bastante bien. Estuve entrenando mucho con mi equipo Bloodline en California, en Orange County, y la verdad me siento listo para ir a dar una guerra, ir hacia enfrente y, como siempre, no tomar ni un paso para atrás.
Cuando tienes un peleador que está como carrera similar, están escalando poco por poco, los han puesto contra buenos nombres, ¿cuál fue la reacción cuando recibiste la noticia o cuando viste el contrato que dijo, ok, tenemos a Alex Hernández, nos tenemos que fajar, va a ser una fuerte pelea?
No, pues emoción como siempre. Obviamente a mí me gusta ir hacia enfrente, dar una guerra. Siento que lo demuestro en cada pelea, especialmente en mi última pelea, y no nomás ir hacia enfrente. Yo vengo a finalizar.
Cuando están estudiando los videos, las peleas que ha tenido en el pasado, ¿en dónde viste tus ventajas o cuáles son las cosas que tuviste que modificar, hacer ajustes para estar preparado para este duelo?
Pues más que nada el cardio. Siento que mi cardio va a ser una arma esencial en esta pelea, y ir hacia enfrente y irlo quebrando poco a poco.
¿Quién trajiste para el campamento para poder hacer algo similar como el Alex, que te diga esa misma look,
Pues tenemos a varios compañeros ahí. Tenemos a Douglas, Lehan Douglas, acaba de pelear hace poquito en Seattle, me ayudó bastante. Richie Miranda también es el campeón de LFA y me ha ayudado bastante también para este campamento. Y pues todo mi equipo Bloodline Cup es muy inteligente, le digo a todos, es la mente maestra de cada estrategia para cada pelea, y pues, la verdad me ayudó bastante. Él, Juan Archuleta, también me ayudó bastante.
Muy bien, man. ¿Pudiste usar el Performance Institute o entrenaste aquí en Las Vegas o todo fue en casa tu campamento?
Pues al principio del campamento siempre vengo al performance para que me digan cómo estoy, qué es lo que debo comer, qué me hace falta, y luego ya después de ahí ya nos asesoramos con ellos por teléfono, y pues sí, nos ayudan bastante, la verdad. Nos hacen la vida mucho más fácil, especialmente te mandan las comidas a tu casa y ya no te preocupas por nada, te dice exactamente qué es lo que tienes que comer, y así haces trampa, pues es tu culpa.
Qué padre, man. Y un mensaje, finalmente para mí, un mensaje para los fans. ¿Qué pueden esperar este sábado? Rafa Garcia, cartelera principal, Paramount Plus.
No, una guerra, un Rafa que siempre va hacia enfrente a buscarla, a terminar la pelea, y obviamente, ya saben, voy a terminar esta pelea.
Gracias, man. Suerte el sábado.
Gracias.
Hola Rafa, un placer. ¿Cuál sería el escenario perfecto para usted para concluir esta pelea este sábado?
Terminarlo lo más pronto posible y hacer algo espectacular que me pueda poner en el top 15. Siento que los dos, yo y él estamos afuera del ranking, y una victoria espectacular de alguna muy buena manera me pondría ahí.
Como mexicano, haber llegado ahorita donde está, siendo latino, ¿qué puede decirle no solamente a los mexicanos, sino a todos los latinos que están en el camino?
No, pues que sí se puede, todo se puede con esfuerzo y trabajo duro, todo se puede, y paciencia, ¿me entiendes? Paciencia, porque el camino está, a veces que se siente como que falta mucho para llegar, está duro esto, y tienes que creer en tus sueños.
Por último, Rafa, ¿qué representa para usted la UFC?
Pues todo mi trabajo, todo mi esfuerzo. Tengo haciendo esto desde los 13 años, y desde que pisé un gimnasio siempre dije, quiero que este sea mi trabajo. Y obviamente todo el trabajo que he puesto a través de los años, digo, pues valió la pena, y es todo para mí.
Gracias y mucho éxito este sábado.
Muchas gracias.
Rafa, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? Mucho gusto. Bueno, ¿cómo avisoras este combate? ¿Qué crees que va a ser lo más importante para poder ganarlo?
Siento que lo más importante para ganar este combate va a ser cortar la jaula, porque siento que él se mueve mucho, le gusta moverse mucho alrededor de la jaula, y cortarlo, no dejar que se mueva mucho, y obviamente siento que el Apex, la jaula es un poco más chica, eso siento que es un beneficio para mí, y como les digo a todos, poner el paso sin dar un paso para atrás, porque siento que eso lo va a quebrar poco a poco.
¿De arranque o en qué round tú te ves favorecedor o ganador?
No me gusta predecir cosas así, pero pues obviamente desde el primer round vas a ir a acabarlo.
¿Cómo ves la evolución de los mexicanos dentro de esta gran empresa?
Pues muy bien, ¿no? Vamos muy bien todos, y la verdad muy orgulloso de todos mis compañeros. La verdad siento que hemos estado haciendo un buen papel para que la UFC cada septiembre diga va a ser UFC Noche, algo especial para nosotros y no nomás algo especial, que hagan un evento de los que, como lo que han estado haciendo. La verdad para mí es un honor y siento que hemos hecho un buen trabajo todos los mexicanos.
Mucha suerte para el sábado.
Gracias.
Gracias.